Beyond the Wheels with Any Affair. It's Beyond the Wheels with Any Affair. Beyond the Wheels. It's Beyond the Wheels. It's Beyond the Wheels. It's Beyond the Wheels. It's Beyond the Wheels. Beyond the Wheels.
Finally,
Finally,
yes,
yes.
finally.
I can hear you
So
clearly.
okay. Thank you very much. So it's good to have you on Beyond the Wheels. Like I said earlier, my name is Grace Oluwatosin from Nigeria. Yes, from Nigeria. And I'm happy to have you on Beyond the Wheels, where we talk about living beyond disabilities, especially for persons with disabilities. And I'm following you on Instagram, on YouTube, and you've been really helpful. So I'm here to ask you questions of how you have been able to overcome these challenges of disabilities. Okay, so let me start by asking you, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us your name. Just tell me about yourself. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. So my name is Nihiwe Kademonga. I'm a social worker by profession.
Okay.
I'm also a life coach. Usually I focus on confidence coaching, like young girls and just anyone really who just wants to boost their confidence. I'm also a content creator. I do a lot of videos around how I live my life as a young person with a disability. So I share my life journey on social media. I'm also a mom. I'm a wife. Yeah, that's all about me.
Okay, good to hear that you're a mom, a wife, a coach. Thank you so much for doing these great things. Okay, so let me go straight to why we are here. It's Beyond the Wheels, and we talk about how we live beyond the wheels. The wheel there is talking about disability, how we live beyond disability. So first of all, let me ask you about how it was for you growing up as a person with disability. How was it for you growing up? What was it like growing up as a person with disability?
Oh, okay. For me, I can say growing up, I grew up in a very loving home. I grew up with my grandmother because when I was born, I'm 30 years. I was born in 1993, and you know that time people didn't have much information about disability. And my paternal family, they couldn't really accept that I was born with a disability. So it was something new to them.
Okay.
It was shocking. So a lot of pressure was put on my mother to say maybe she has done something wrong or it's a punishment from the gods for giving birth to a child with a disability. So my grandmother, my maternal grandmother was like, you know what, give me this child, let me raise this child. So my mom has space to just like build her marriage and all that. So I grew up with my grandmother. She was such a wonderful, wonderful woman. She raised me in a very normal way. At home, I used to do house chores. I just used to do everything like any other child. So that's how I grew up. I think I only started to see that I was different when I started going to school. Now I'm going out into the community. I'm now meeting with other people who don't really like understand disability or people without any first-hand experience when it comes to disability. So that's when I started to feel a difference, but it wasn't really much like when I was young. I think when I was like in primary school, and also I went to a school where we were mixed, like able-bodied kids and also kids with disabilities. So the experience wasn't really bad, to be honest. I think I started to face a bit of challenges when now I was in like high school. That's when I started to face challenges like self-love, body confidence and all that. But growing up as a child, I didn't face much stigma.
Okay, I'm happy about the fact that you mentioned that your mother had challenges from people asking her how she gave birth to a child like you. Maybe she had done something and things like that. You know, in our society today, you're from where? I'm a Nigerian, so where are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay, and Okay, so over here we face things like that too. People don't really appreciate having a child with disability. Some parents don't even keep children like that,
They
or
don't
they
know.
hide them away from the society. And thank God for your grandmother. She accepted you, trained you, and helped you. One major thing I also appreciate is that you were sent to school. In Africa, persons with disabilities do not have the opportunity to go to school because they believe it's a waste of time
And
and effort and money
money.
sending the child to with
Yeah.
disability. Okay, so for you now, let me ask you this question: what is the importance of education to children with disabilities from what you have experienced?
Okay. Obviously, education is just so important to children with disability as it is important to children without disabilities. Everyone deserves to be educated, to go to school. Everyone has the right to education. And I
Yeah.
also think for children with disabilities, it also helps them like to interact with other people out there. And also I think it also raises like awareness to other people to say that no, when someone has a disability, it doesn't mean that they are any less of a human. It's just a disability.
Okay.
Everything else is okay, it's fine. They can still just live a life just like anyone else. So I think uh, education is as important as it is just to everyone, to children with disabilities.
Okay. So I've watched your videos online. I've watched on Instagram. There was a time I spent almost 3 hours on your timeline on YouTube, on Instagram. I was watching and I saw the way you are able to do your things yourself. So tell me, how do you do these things? How are you able to do them?
Um, Honestly, for me, most of these things they came naturally, to be honest, because I was born like this. I've never lived my life outside of this body, so this is my normal. This is how I do things. So for me, most of the things they just come naturally. And also some of the things I was taught with my grandmother, like what I was saying, that my grandmother was someone who didn't raise me in any special way. She just raised me like any other child and supported me wherever she felt like I need like extra support. She supported me in that way. So I think she gave me like a ground to be myself, to just be any other human being. So yeah, that's how I just got to get used to do like house chores, to do whatever that I do, because I was given that space to just be a human and be a child and just being myself.
So you mentioned how your grandmother helped you to be able to be mobile. Okay, now I'm going to ask you this question, and it is about your love life because this is one very interesting thing about you. And I wanted to tell us, first of all, tell us how. Okay, was there a time you were worried about getting married even before you got engaged or got married? Were you scared about not getting married because of your disability? Were you scared of not having a child? Can you just first of all tell us about that first?
Okay. I think just like any other lady, I was also worried like, am I gonna get married? Who am I going to get married to? But for me, it wasn't a point of having a disability. Like I was thinking maybe I'm not get married because I have a disability. It wasn't from that point of view. For me, it was just from a point of view where I was like, I don't know any like people close to me who are happily married that I know, and I can say I envy or I want to have a marriage like them. So for me, I was looking at marriage from that angle. So I was like, what's the point of getting married when I see people who are around me, they are not happy in their marriages? So what's the point of me getting married? So I think yeah, that's the challenge that I faced from that angle, not from a disability angle. And then having
Okay.
kids from a very young age, I just knew that I wanted to be a mother. I was
Okay.
like, whether I'm going to get married or not, I just wanted to be a mother. And for me, I thought like having kids were just easy as just getting pregnant and the next after 9 months you have a child. So I think after having my first ever experience, because I was pregnant back in 2020 and I gave birth and then the child died. So for me, I was having fear from that angle of like the experience that I've had, but I never had any doubts that will I be able to have a child because of a disability. I've never looked it from that angle because I just knew that I was going to be pregnant. I just know that at some point I'll be pregnant. I'll have my child. So yeah, For me, disability was not really like a factor in my love language, in my love, in my love story, or like on me having kids. But of course, I also had my own challenges like dating. Until I got married, I was in other relationships before, and I had challenges in those relationships. And I also don't think most of my challenges were because of my disability. Of course, yes, I had other challenges here and there, one or two challenges, but it wasn't really from a point of like having a disability, but it was just a point from just struggling in relationships like any other person. Yeah.
Okay, you mean your disability never affected your love life?
No, not really.
Okay, this is the
Like
first time
not
I'm
really
hearing this
directly,
because
no.
not
But
really
also at some
directly.
point, if I say like not at all, I'll be lying. But also at
Okay.
some point, like here, I remember there was a time when I was like, let me join online dating. And you know, when you have a disability, you are doing like online dating, and now you have to meet this person like in person, and you're thinking, how are they going to view me? How are they going to accept me? So I think I struggled from that angle of like online dating. But with people that I met like face to face, I never had any problems.
Okay. So let me ask you this question from this. How I love your confidence. Like you're very, very, very confident, and I'm happy about that. So tell us how you
Thank
do this,
you.
because this is one of the challenges that we as persons. I am a person with disability too. I am a person with disability.
Hmm.
So at a point, I had this issue of confidence. You know, most times I don't want to go out because I'm scared of people staring at me. I'm scared of people saying this lady, this is how her legs, this and that, and all that. So I spend most of my day indoor. I don't go out. But at a point, God has really helped me to be confident and not be scared of anybody. Like even when you're staring, I'll be like, "Hey, how are you doing? Hope there's no problem." You know, things like that. So I don't. So tell us how you were able to build your confidence and how you can encourage others, especially persons with disabilities, to be confident, to have this self-esteem and not low esteem, and not look down on themselves because they are persons with disabilities. So can you please share your experience on this?
Okay. Let me say this. Even these days, I am so confident, but there are also times where I feel very nervous when people like look at me and all that. I also feel very nervous, and I just don't know how to react. But I struggled with confidence. I struggled like loving my body. And you know, when you turn on the TV, you're seeing all these models with long legs, what, like they're beautiful, they're slender and all that. For me, I didn't look anything like that, and it's something that really affected me, especially when I was a teenager, like even into my early 20s, I can say. I really struggled with that. But one thing that helped me was to just accept myself and accept my body. I think I reached a point where I told myself that, you know what, no matter how much I try to be bitter about how I look and all that, at the end of the day, nothing is going to change about me. So the best that I can do is just to accept myself and love myself. And I'm telling you, if it comes from like within, if it comes from you, no matter how much people are going to say, no matter the comments that people are going to say, as long as you accept yourself and you love yourself, I'm telling you, it's not going to affect you as much. Also struggling with loving their bodies. Like, accept yourself, love yourself. And I'm telling you, it's not something that just happens overnight. It's something that happens like, it's a journey. Honestly, it's a journey. For me, I think it took me, if not even a year, for me to actually reach a point where I was like, I think now I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm not comfortable in my own body. If I tell you that this social media, where now I'm posting videos about me, posting a lot of things about me, in the past, I never used to do that. Like, I just used to post pictures or videos of me, just my face. I didn't want people to see how I looked like because I didn't have the confidence and I was scared about people's comments. But the day when I get the courage to just post a full body picture of myself, that was a game changer for me. And it has led me to where I am today. So self acceptance
Mm.
and self love is the two most important things. I think self-acceptance is the first one, and then you go to self-love. But first, you just have to accept yourself that this is who I am. Nothing is going to change, and I'm just going to find ways on how I'm going to love myself.
Okay. Okay, so let me go back to the other question before I'm going to round up very soon. Okay, so for your husband now, how was the meeting? I really want to know that angle because it's interesting. So how was it meeting your husband and then getting married and then having a child? Let's talk about that.
Okay. I met my husband back in 2017. We met on WhatsApp, like a WhatsApp group. So I joined this WhatsApp group for like people with disabilities where we just discuss different things about disability and just share things about disability. So when I was added into this group, the rule of this group is when you get added, you have to introduce yourself, what you do, and tell people the name of your disability. So for me, when I was added, I didn't know the name of my disability. So I was like, I don't really know the name of my disability, but what I can do, I can send you a picture. So I sent my picture in this group, and then men being men, people like flooded my inbox with messages, and I just didn't respond to anyone. I just scrolled. But then there was this one person who just caught my attention. I'm like, this person on, like, it was a picture of him on his profile picture. And I'm like, who is this person? It looks like he doesn't have any disability. So I clicked and then I responded to him because he was just like, hi, how are you? You're so beautiful. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. How are you? That's how we started talking. And I was like, so what's your disability? And he actually lied to me and he said, I'm deaf. He said I'm deaf. So I was like, oh, okay. And that's when he started like requesting to take me out for lunch or just like have a date. So yeah, that's how we basically met. And then we dated up until 2021. Um, in 2020, I was pregnant. That time we were not married yet. I was pregnant and I lost the baby. And then in 2021, we did this photo shoot together. It was just like a photo shoot, just having fun with this photographer that I was had like a good relationship with. I was like, Sneaky, come as a couple. Let's do a photo shoot. So we did the photo shoot. So for me, I'm someone who never posted any of my relationships on social media. So that was the first time. And then even when I got pregnant, the first time people were actually like, "Who is the father of this pregnancy?" But I never disclosed to people. So
Okay.
the photographer was like, "Can I please post just one or two pictures of you guys on my pages just to show people my work?" I was like, "Oh, no problem." And for me, I wasn't even thinking too much about it. I was like, "It's just pictures." If I tell you that when he posted those pictures, 30 minutes later, my phone was on fire with messages, with phone calls. And that was also the same thing with my husband. His phone was like on fire, phone calls, whatnot, whatnot. And I was like, wow, people asking, and a lot of people were surprised. So that's how. And then there's someone who saw these pictures, and then he came to my inbox. And like, I saw these pictures. Are you guys a real couple, or it's just for like for content? I'm like, we're actually a real couple. That's when he was like, can I please, I want to help to plan a wedding for you guys. Would you guys want to get married? I was like, what? At first, I was so hesitant about it. I was like, no, we have to wait for the right time. But my husband was like, let's have the wedding because still it was in our plans to get married. So why can't we just have, if we have people who are willing to help us wed, let's just do it. That's how we got married and we wedded in October 2021 and we've been married since. It has been a journey. Marriage is just a journey, but I thank God for where we are.
Thank God. I'm happy for you, sincerely speaking. I love your faith. You have faith in God. You have faith in yourself. You're confident. I don't see fear in you. Like you are never scared. And because I asked you earlier and you said you were not scared of getting married, it was normal for you that you were expecting to get married, you were expecting to have a child, and here you are married, you have a child, and you are living a very beautiful life. Okay, so like you mentioned earlier, for self-love and self-confidence for other person's disabilities, um for some persons with disabilities, especially ladies with disabilities, might not be lucky enough or are also they also experience abuse because of their disability. You know, people want to take advantage of them because of their disability and all that. So what can you say about this, and how can you encourage ladies with disabilities?
I think to ladies with disabilities, I just encourage them to take care of themselves, really take care of yourselves, because there are people that much. Like sometimes you're not married not because you have a disability, but sometimes there are also a lot of young women out there who don't have any disability, but they're not married. They're also struggling to get married. So it's just being all about being patient. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, find other ways to just fulfill yourself, make yourself happy, and just live your life happily ever after. Because disabilities out there, don't get trapped into just falling in love with just anyone just because you have a disability. No, you deserve the best. You deserve good relationships. You deserve good marriages. So just take care of yourself and just be wise in choosing a life partner.
Okay, thank you very much. So now let's talk about our community generally. I don't know, maybe in other countries, maybe it is working, but we have some places in the world today where people with disabilities are not treated well. In the community, they are treated differently. In their family, they are treated differently. In the workplace, people don't even employ persons with disabilities. Now, how do we, what do you think we can do to stop this? And how can we teach our society to accept persons with disabilities like every other person?
I think also the ball is also in our hands as people with disabilities. We need to learn to speak out. Whenever you see something that is not good, speak out. Whether starting with your friends. For me, I'm not even afraid to call out my friends if they do something which is like not disability friendly. Speak out whenever you see something which is not okay. Speak out. Like they always say, charity begins at home. It might be something small, but you never know how different of much of a difference it's going to make. So speak out, and just raising awareness. And as people with disability, let's always be positive. Let's lead by example. Let our lives, the way we live our lives, let it be an example of how we want to be treated out there. So it's all about us as people with disability to raise the awareness, to speak out whenever we see something is not okay, and also even to like our relatives, to other people without disability out there. I think it also good for you to know these things about disability, to also raise awareness, to also be willing to learn and just know how we can live with people with disabilities in our society, how we can accept them, how we can empower them, how we can also encourage them, not just seeing them from charity point of view, but to see them as human and empower them, and just to see them as part of the community, as people who can also contribute to our community. So it's just for all of us to fight against stigma for people with disabilities.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to ask you this question now, and it is that I can see that you God is helping you to live above disability, and this is really it's special. It's amazing because there are so many people with disabilities who are on the streets. You know, they're not just in good condition majorly because of their disability. And I believe you are a Christian, a child of God. You believe in Jesus Christ. So I want to ask you this question. You know, there is this Bible verse I love so much, and that's been really helpful for me. It says that my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. So I want you to share with us your own part where you have seen God's strength made perfect in your own weakness, so that other people can learn. You know, we all have our different challenges. It might not be a disability, but for some, these challenges are standing as stumbling block. Like they cannot do anything. They believe because I'm in this condition, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I can't go to school, I can't get married, I can, some are even in depression, some commit, like, let me just use the word, they commit suicide because of situations like this. So can you please help us to talk to everyone listening to you, to tell us how you're able to get your strength to live beyond disability?
Okay, thank you. I think for me, being a Christian has also helped me so much in my journey as a living as a person with a disability. Because I always pray, and secondly, the word of God always comforts me in whatever challenges that I face in my life. It's always comforting for me. So to other people, I just want to say, if you're a Christian, I think it's always good for you to pray, know the word of God. Like, that verse which says, I know the plans that I have for you, the plans not to harm you. It's really my favorite verse. Because for me, I'm always like, whatever that I face in life, I know that it is God always has plans for me, and everything that is happening in my life is happening for my own good, and God knows where I want to go. So it's always good to dwell in the word of God, to pray, and to just know that and also sometimes I also encourage people to say, use your weaknesses to your own advantages. So for me,
Mm,
I've used my own weakness, like being a person with a disability, and I've used that to my own advantage as a way of encouraging other people out there, not only people with disabilities, but just everyone, to say, you know what, in life we face a lot of challenges, we have a lot of circumstances that we face in life, but you can always rise above the waves and just do whatever that you want to do. Life is not always perfect. We face a lot of challenges. We face a lot of setbacks. So it's always good for you to to believe in God, to say, God, you created me this way. You are the best person who knows where my life is going, and I'm always going to come back and refer to you to lead me to where I'm supposed to go. So always dwell in the word of God, and you see God doing wonders in your life.
okay, so thank you very much. This is my final question for you today. I want to say a brief thank you to everyone who has joined. Thank you for
Mm.
joining. I hope you're learning from my guests today. Thank you so much for joining. So now to my last question for today. And it is that you mentioned earlier that you are a mom, you are a
Yeah.
wife. So
Yes.
okay, I'm going to, because for me, I feel the wife part is kind of easier from my own experience. As okay, from South Africa. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. It's good to have you. Okay, so from my own experience, I feel being a wife, as to be a wife as a person with disability is easier than to be a mother with disability, because I must say the truth, because recently, I think some days ago, I was like exhausted. You know the joy is there, but because of the fact that I'm a person with disability, the job is extra. I need to do this. I need to. Oh my goodness! I'll be like, this is just beyond me. But I trust God to help me. So tell us how you manage life. First of all, as a mother with disability, before the wife with disability.
Motherhood is just a whole pandemic on its own, to be honest. The joy is there, like what you're saying, the joy is there, but also the struggles are also very, very real. There's a lot of fear. For me as a mother with a disability, I also have a lot of fear.
Okay.
But I think one thing that has helped me a lot is just to have help around me, and learning to ask for help. Whenever I need help, I always ask for help, because honestly, I cannot do it all. And I think it's easier when the baby is like a bit younger. They are easier to handle, like changing their diapers. They're easier. They are not fidgeting. They're just calm and all that. But now my son is like 7 months now, and he's fidgeting. He's everywhere. Oh, it's a it's a lot. Honestly, it's a lot. Like trying to calm him down, trying to do everything. But now I've told myself that I'm going to do whatever that I can, things that I can able to do. I don't want to be a super mom. I don't want to be like I don't know, but I'm just going to do whatever that I can at that time whenever I need help, I'm going to ask for help. And I think that's how I'm going to like just raise him. But there's also a lot of fear as a mom with a disability, to be
Oh,
honest. Yeah.
okay. So I'm going to agree with that too. Okay, so how about you? You are a wife with disability. How do you manage that too, as a wife with disability? How do you manage your relationship with your husband, with your in-laws, and all that?
I thank God I don't really have difficult in-laws. My in-laws are such wonderful people. They really love me. We have a very good relationship, especially with my husband's sisters and like his siblings, because his father is alive, but his mom is late. So it's quite a very big family. But I thank God the relationship is good. And as being a wife, I just don't know. I'm just a wife. Whenever I need help, for him, he knows whenever I need help, whenever I can't do certain things, I'm not going to be to try and being like a super wife. If I can't do it, I can't do it. He's going to chip in. If you need someone from outside to help us with something, we're going to ask for help. Like, for example, having someone to wash our clothes, to someone to do certain things. Whenever I need help, I'm going to ask for help. Whenever I can do something, I'm going to do it. So I think it's all about just balancing and not trying to have all this pressure from society. You know, as society, they tell you as a wife, you should be able to do this, you should be able to do that for your husband. But for me, if I can't do it, I cannot do it.
Oh,
I'm going to ask for help. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You know, I have not been able to correctly pronounce your name, so I have decided to save myself. Let me say, should I say this true? And just call you Nikki, because I know you have Nikki on your.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, can you just please give us your name again? Your name. Let's hear it. Let me see if I can do something about your name before you go.
Okay. My name is Nikiwe Kademonga. Nikiwe.
Okay. I got the Nikki. I'm still sticking to the Nikki. Let me just stick to it.
Which is completely fine. Completely fine.
No problem. Thank you so much, Nikki. It's good to have you on Beyond the Wheels. And seriously, I can see that you are really living beyond the wheels. Your life is a testimony, sincerely speaking. I think I'm going to share my own the things that I learned from you. Some I think last year while I was going through your YouTube channel, I learned a lot from you. Okay, so can you please give us your YouTube channel, your handle on Instagram, your YouTube channel, and then what you told me you are a coach, right?
Yes.
So can you just give me your handle? Can you tell us your handle? I think you need to follow her. Please, I know you have been following. You have to invite other people to follow this beautiful lady. Please do so. Sincerely speaking, you are not going to regret following this special human that God has given sufficient grace. So please tell us your handle on Instagram, your handle on YouTube, on Facebook, anywhere. Just give us.
Okay. My handles on Instagram and YouTube, it's Nikiwe Kademonga. It's just my name and my surname. And then on Facebook, it's Coach SK, the Confidence Coach. That's my page on Facebook.
Okay, the Confidence Coach.
Yes. Coach SK, the Confidence Coach.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Sincerely speaking, thank you, and I'm praying that we have this opportunity once again. Thank you so much. Please extend my greetings to your baby, because I think I heard his voice. I heard the beautiful voice. I heard his voice, and then please send my greetings to him and to everyone around you, helpful, and to your husband. Special greetings to him. He's an amazing person. I am happy for you. I'm happy for your family. I'm really grateful to God for you. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying strong. And I want you to know that a lot of people are looking up to you. They are looking up to you. Yes. Your strength is a driving force for so many people out there. So please don't stop. I know you might have your own challenges that you try to manage, but I believe God is going to help us I have always been there too. I am in it too, so I understand what it means to come out strong, even if we have our own struggles. So thank you so much for staying strong for us. Please continue in this path, and I feel God will help you.
Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you so much. And also greetings to your family as well. I know we'll continue connecting even on WhatsApp. We'll continue the relationship.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, so can you just say what to my viewers now as we leave? Just say what to them, say something to them. Yeah.
Okay, to everyone, guys, never give up on anything that you want to achieve in life. Never give up. Remember, you are the example that you want to see in the world. Whatever that you want to see the world look like, it have to start with you. So never give up on your goals or anything that you want to achieve in life.
Thank you so much. She said never give up. Never give up. And we are not going to give up. Okay, so I am your host of Beyond the Wheels, and my name is Grace Oluwatosi from Nigeria, and we will be having more of this here on this platform. I'm talking about persons with disabilities and how we live beyond disability. As I said, disability is not the end of life. It is not the end of your journey. You can still become that person God has ordained you to be. Just look away from your disability and look unto God, the author and finisher of our faith. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much, Nikki. Have a wonderful day ahead and a wonderful year. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you. All right. Bye. Thank you very much. Yeah.